Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kal Halayim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the Akim, teaching this word about the Mayam Wa'amath. That's a sincerity and truth, you know. And just like the apostles and elders, the apostle Tahar made a statement. This is why we call you the devil, in response to a CNN interview where they was asking, what's the beef? Why are we so mad, you know? And the apostle Tahar pretty much gave the dead set answer. It's because you're the devil, man. And this is why we call you the devil. So, you know, it's pretty much sparked the spirits of many brothers teaching this thing, man, to come through all different angles. You know what I'm saying? The brothers should all went into being covetous. That's why we call you the devil. You know, the Elder Yashawamba went into the whole transhuman thing, you know. I've seen brothers go into abortion and all these things, all these schemes that the self-proclaimed white man, you know what I'm saying? Because he's self-proclaimed. The Lord gave you the nationality of the Edomite. You see? Esau, Edom is your nationality. Mount Seir, Idumea. You see? The mystery of iniquity. You know what I'm saying? All these things, the border of wickedness, apply to the self-proclaimed white man. And he self-proclaimed himself as white back in the 1600s, man. You know? People were not categorized by color up until the 1600s. The mid-1600s up until now. That was not a thing in the earth. Okay? So that's another reason why we call you the devil. Because you took away everybody's nationalities and made them either your own nationality, or you just distorted who the people are truly, you know? But what I want to do is I want to play this video because the Apostle Elder Gabar, he was dead set on point, you know? And I'm using Elder Yashawamba's video to get the clip that I made, to get the clip that I need to make my point, because this is what the Apostle Elder was talking about.
You know what I noticed when we really sticking it to Esau through the scriptures? The scoffers, they don't say much. They don't say anything.
And this is the way you're supposed to teach. You make a statement, then you back it up with a scripture.
Because I'm looking at the comment board. Now, before we're talking about other things, the scoffers were talking shit. But when we go into Esau and we're insulting them, and then we're bringing the scriptures, using it to insult them, they don't say shit. They don't say nothing.
All right, Shalom.
You see? They don't say nothing when we get to truly going in on the self-proclaimed white man, because at the end of the day, the truth is the truth. And when you know who's responsible for all these atrocities and all this calamity in the earth, it's only one way you can go. It's only one nation of people that you can attribute that to, man. Right? And the Lord is very specific about who Esau, Edom is. You know what I mean? But I want to come from the aspect of Monsanto, you know, the food industry. This is why we call you the devil, the self-proclaimed white man, Esau, Edom. The reason why we call you the devil is because you created Monsanto. All right? Now, let's see about Monsanto. And Monsanto is big on GMOs, genetically modified organisms. You know what I'm saying? So what we gonna do is we're gonna let this doctor speak, because a lot of people like to say that you don't know how GMOs are gonna affect you. But in a nutshell, you can understand these things, man. You just gotta be willing to research. You know what I'm saying? Now, me personally, speaking as a man, I've always said that it takes about 30 years for these different things to kick in. The reason why I say that is because I was born in 79, meaning I was an 80s baby. You know, back then, they were starting to get the mothers to use powdered Similac and all this type of stuff instead of breastfeeding. You know what I'm saying? And then all the different shots that you have to take and all the different foods that you eat. You know what I'm saying? We grew up eating McDonald's and Burger King and Taco Bell and all these different things, right? So now, if you notice, whatever camp you in, whoever the oldest brother is to whoever the youngest brother is, all of them starting to have the same ailments. You know what I'm saying? Around the ages of 27 to around 32, you start to notice in your body breakdown. And just me speaking as a man, that's my opinion on how long it took powdered Similac and McDonald's and all these things to break your body down. Because you got to keep in mind, back in the day, The oldest man, Methuselah, he was 960 some years old. You know what I'm saying? Then it went down progressively to the 500s, then the 300s, then the 100s. Now if you live to be 50, it's a freaking miracle. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to get into a couple of clips, and then I'm going to get into a couple of scriptures, and Lord willing, it be edifying, so we can show the world why we call the self-proclaimed white man the damn devil.
You know, Anthony, I get tons of emails all the time, and I'm sure you do too, and people are saying, well, look, we know the GMO thing is so bad, and, you know, sometimes we have to go out to restaurants and eat, and sometimes we're exposed to it. I mean, we can't constantly just shut our family off from it. And they say, what are we supposed to do? How are we supposed to detoxify our body? How are we supposed to stop the damage? Even when we stop eating GMOs, how are we supposed to get that out? How are we supposed to repair our body?
And I think it's a good question, because all of us at some point in our lives have consumed GMOs, whether we know it or not. I mean, we've drank tap water with a bunch of contaminants in it and stuff. And, well, you're Dr. Detox. You're the literal expert on detoxing. I mean, you're the guy I go to when I want to talk to about certain health, problems and detoxing and stuff. So they have their answer in you. So tell us how we can detox GMOs, or specifically detox out the danger and damage of the GMOs.
Okay, so I wanted to play that video just for the simple fact that you have Esau pretty much letting you know that GMOs are going to have some kind of effect on you no matter what. You had GMOs, you have GMOs in your system whether you know it or not. You see? And this is why we say that you're the devil, man. This is why we call the self-proclaimed white man the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. Because when you go into the word devil, it goes into the deceiver, man. And he lies about everything, man. He tells you that plants that are helpful to your body are poisonous. You know? He tells you that he can make a tomato, or he can make different fruits and vegetables better than the Most High can. You see? And when he was given the earth, this is what he did with it, man. This is what he did with it. Totally destroying it in the form of the food that we eat, man. You see? Everybody, obesity, everything is double meat, triple meat. You know what I'm saying? You can get a triple meat burger for $5, but you're spending $17-18 on a salad. You see? And whether you're trying to eat healthy or whether you're eating fast food, it's all GMO. It's all garbage, man. You know what I'm saying? And this is why we call you the devil. Now, let's see. I got a couple scripts. Let me see. Let me get that. What was that? Job. All right. Job 9:24 says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, wherein who is he? You see? And that's going into the Edomites, man. If not, that's what I'm saying. Who owns everything, man? Just being honest. Just being honest, man. Even in the curses, it tells us that we was going to have to go to our enemies for the want of all things. That's why you see the Arabs in Jake neighborhood. That's why you see Moab, who is a Chinese in Jake neighborhood. You see all these different nations that have stores in the neighborhood that's feeding us all these are different abominations. Here it is. The Lord said, gave us Deuteronomy 14 and Leviticus 11 for our dietary laws. And what do they give us? They give us everything that they say that the Lord said we can't eat. You know what I'm saying? But I'll get to that in a minute. But this is what he does with his rulership, man. And this is why we call him the devil, man. You see? It said, if not, where and who is he? Scriptures, the curses say we was going to have to go to our enemies for the want of all things. So for our clothes, you know what I'm saying? For our clothes, they give us mixed fabric. For our foods, they give us abominations. And it is what it is. It is what it is. Alright, now, let's see. We're going to go from Job 9:24. Let's get Isaiah 29 and 16. This is what he does with his rulership, man. Now, see, the Lord promised us that when He delivers us, He's going to put the law, statutes, and commandments in us so we can never go off again. But just looking at this so-called white man, the self-proclaimed white man, the Edomites, they just do what they want to do, man, and it's awful, man. See, look at this. It says, Isaiah 29:16, it says, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding? See, so that's what I'm saying. The Lord put the Spirit on him to turn everything upside down. You see, so that we can see how not to rule. So we can see the behavior. When the Lord put the law, statutes, and commandments in place, it was for the behavior of the Israelites to rule the earth. You see, Esau don't use those. The Edomites don't use those rules. They do what they want to do, man. You see. All right. Now let's get Leviticus 26. All right, Leviticus 26 and 34. All right. It says, then shall the land enjoy her Sabbaths, as long as it lieth desolate, and ye be in your enemies' land, even then shall the land rest and enjoy her Sabbaths. You see, what does Esau do? That's what I'm saying. See, according to that law, you're supposed to till the ground for 6 years and then let it rest after that. Move on. And then after that year, you can come back and continue to till the ground. You let the land rest. What does Esau do? He digs and digs and digs and digs and digs. You know, and the more you dig, the less the ground is going to give you. Therefore, he has to make his own vegetables and fruits and trees and all these different things. He comes up with his own seed. You know what I'm saying? He comes up with his own seeds, which is a direct violation of the Lord. Direct violation of the Lord for that. As far as the seed is concerned, right? This is Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 9. It says, thou shalt not sow thy vineyard with diverse seeds. You see? Lest the fruit of thy seed which thou hast sown and the fruit of thy vineyard be defiled. All right. Now, what what this food do? Now, Monsanto. This is what we're gonna focus on, because Monsanto is huge in the food industry. It says the Monsanto company was an American agrochemical and agricultural biotechnology corporation that existed from 1901 until 2018, when it was acquired by Bayer as a part of its crop science division. It was headquartered in Creve Coeur, Missouri. Monsanto developed Roundup and glyphosate-based herbicides in the 1970s and became a major producer of genetically engineered crops. All right. Now, what I want to focus on when it comes to Monsanto is the crop seed. All right. The crop seed. Now, we want to go to Genesis. Let's see. Genesis chapter 1. Let me go back. Genesis chapter 1, verse 11. Because the Lord already made seed to do what seed do. All right, Genesis 1. All right. Genesis 1 and 11, it says, and the power said, let the earth bring forth grass and herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind. Meaning an apple tree. Meaning an apple tree is going to bring forth an apple. An orange is going to bring forth an orange. You see, cherry brings cherries. Watermelon brings watermelon. So whatever the seed is going to bring forth that fruit. Now the ground may change it, you know, depending on where you grow that apple or where you grow that orange. But the seed is going to bring that particular fruit. That's what the scripture's saying, right? So now we have that established. What does this guy do? All right, let me see. A seed is an embryonic plant enclosed in a protective outer covering. The formation of the seed is part of the process of reproduction in seed plants. The spermatophytes, including the gymnosperm and angiosperm plants. So basically, it's going into how plants are regenerated and how seeds germinate to multiply. Okay. And what Esau does is he takes these seeds. It's just like, okay, a typical apple. An apple is supposed to go bad after it's been sitting for so long. If you bite an apple and then you walk away, by the time you come back, depending on how long that air hitting that apple is gonna make it turn brown. That's what it's supposed to do. That's how you know it's real food. Real food spoils. Okay. Genetically modified organisms don't. So like I was saying earlier, in a generation, if you grow up on GMOs, eventually your body's gonna break down in such a fashion that you haven't seen yet. Because the whole thing about depopulation and things of that nature, when you think about it, at the end of the day, lifespans are getting shorter and shorter and shorter. You see, Esau wants to do this transhumanism thing and all these things like that, but he's not giving himself a chance to survive. Just like Elder Joshua Wamba always say, how the hell you gonna live forever and you smoke cigarettes? It just don't make sense. So the GMOs are just as bad. You see? The GMOs are just as bad. Alright, let's see. It says, seeds have been an important development in the reproduction and success of gymnosperm and angiosperm plants relative to more primitive plants such as ferns, mosses, and liverworts, which do not have seeds and use water-dependent means to propagate themselves. Seed plants now dominate biological niches on the land and forests and grasslands, both in hot and cold climates. The term seed also has a general meaning that antedates the above. Anything that can be sown, example given, seed, potatoes, seeds of corn or sunflower seeds. In this case, the sunflower and corn seeds. What is sown is the seed enclosed in the shell or husk, whereas the potato is a tuber. So basically, they changing the whole germination process. You know, it wasn't good enough in their eyes the way the Lord made it, so they want to create their own. You see, and that's not good according to the law, which the law don't apply to them, but it just goes to show you that they're totally adverse to the law. You see what I'm saying? I know. Let's get Ezekiel 4. Yeah. Matter of fact, yeah, let's get Ezekiel 4 and 10 real quick. Ezekiel 4. Yeah, there we go. Let's go there. We're going to read 10 through 13. You know, this is Ezekiel. The Lord gave Ezekiel a vision of how the food was going to be. You know what I'm saying? Gave him a glimpse into the future to see how the food was going to be. And basically, he equated it to man shit. We was going to be eating shit. That's why you have these articles about recall from recall from ground beef because it had poop in it. You know what I'm saying? It's a certain amount of poop they can put in chocolate and all these. That's what I'm saying. Really? That's what I'm saying. That's just not. Why would you put feces in anything that you want to eat? Anything that you want the people to eat? You see? And this is why we call the so-called white man, the self-proclaimed white man, the Esau, Edomite, the devil, man. Only a devil would shit in your food, man. You know, tell you you're eating healthy and shit, you know. It says, and thy meat which thou shalt eat shall be by weight 20 shekels a day, from the time from time to time shalt thou eat it. You know what I'm saying? See, back in the day, we didn't eat meat every day. It wasn't no thing for us to just eat vegetables and eat pulse or whatever. You ate meat on certain occasions. You eat meat on the Passover and certain feasts and things like that. But it wasn't an everyday thing because it wasn't, it wasn't pushed like that like it is now. Everything is just meat, meat, meat. For meat. As soon as you wake up in the morning, it's meat. In the middle of the day, your snack is meat. Your lunch is meat. Your dinner is meat. And you don't give your body a chance to digest anything, especially you're not even eating real food. You see? And we're gonna get back into the animals too. It says, and thy meat which thou eat shall okay, I read that one, Slaki. It says, thou shalt drink also water by measure, the sixth part of an hin, from time to time thou shalt drink. And thou shalt eat it as barley cakes, and thou shalt bake it with dung that cometh out of a man in their sight. You see, man's dung in the food, and that's happening today, man, because it was prophesied, man. And he told Ezekiel to eat some. It says, and the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread amongst the Gentiles, whither I will drive them, and that is happening. That the Lord made good on that promise, man. Look at the way they treat us, man. Look at what we eating, man. It's ridiculous, man. You see? All right, let me go back to Genesis real quick. Genesis 27. You know what I'm saying? Because Esau was so mad about giving up his birthright, man. He made a vow that he was going to slay his brother Jacob, man. You see? Don't know Moabite, who is a Chinese, owned Monsanto. You know? The Edomites, that's who owned Monsanto. Alright, 27 and 41. Alright. This is Genesis 27 and 38 going into Esau's blessing. It says, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing? My father, bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of heaven from above, and by the sword shalt thou live. You see, and his sword it comes in actual weaponry. It comes into his media. It goes into his lies. You see, and this is the way he conquered the world, man. This is the way he was able to take over. This is the also with the earth given into the hands of the wicked. Those were his weapons. You see, the sword and the fatness of the land. Anything he was gonna take it. Whether he had to lie, steal, kill, whatever. That's how he was going to roll. It says, and by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke off of thy neck. You know what I'm saying? And that happened during the time of, oh man, it's escaping me right now, but that happened twice. You know what I'm saying? When during the Renaissance was the most recent, leading up to now, and then back in the day when during the Roman Empire and during the Greeks and the Romans when they was in rulership then, you know, where they was jacking everything up. Well, no, it was during the time of King David, Salakia. But anyway, I'm gonna keep going. All right. It says, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him, and Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. You know, and that perpetual hatred that was spoken about in Ezekiel goes back to that very moment, man. You see? So now that you fast forward up to today, man, the only way that the Esau is going to be able to keep his birthright is if he gets rid of the Israelites, man. Right? If he gets rid of Jacob's descendants. And through the food is how he's going. It's one way that he attacks, man. You see? They put things in the food that make you turn in that make you behave a certain way. All kind of chemicals in the food. You get addicted to what's in McDonald's. You get addicted to what's in all these different fast food places, man. And you can't say it ain't so. All right. Now, let me get Leviticus, because the Lord set it up how we supposed to eat, man. The Lord set it up how we supposed to eat, and the way we set up. The way we supposed to eat is perfect, man. All right? This is Leviticus 11:1. It says, "And the Lord spake to Moses and Aaron, saying unto them, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, These are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. Whatsoever parteth the hoof, and is cloven footed, and cheweth the cud among the beasts that ye shall eat." You see what I'm saying? So you see the things that you can eat. You can eat a cow. You can eat a bull. You can eat a bison. You can eat a deer. You see what I'm saying? You can eat a giraffe. Why? Because it parteth the hoof and is cloven footed and cheweth the cud. You see what I'm saying? Now it says, "Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud, of them that divide the hoof, as a camel part. Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divide the hoof, as the camel, because he cheweth the cud, but divided not the hoof. He is unclean unto you." You see how the Lord is being very specific? You see, he's being very specific about what you can eat and can't eat. You know, and this is a big one for us, man. Leviticus number 11:7. It says, "And the swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven footed, yet cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you." So that's why we can't eat swine, man. You know, and swine brings these diseases. You see, that's why you have Esau doing things like making chicken sausage but wrapping it in pork casing. You see what I'm saying? He slides pork in knowing that we can't, just like back in the day when he was able to force it during the time of the Greeks. He was able to force pork on us, sacrificing pork on the altar, killing us if we didn't want to eat it, torturing us if we didn't want to eat it. See, now it's to the point to where he does it subtly, because he's the devil that the Bible speaks of. He lies and he schemes to get it into your food. If he knows that you don't eat it, if he knows that all you eat is turkey, he's gonna make sure that some kind of way pork touches that turkey. You see? And I want to get into the animals. Alright. Let me see, where is it? Hold on. Because it goes into how they hold on, where is that? Okay, yeah, there we go. I already went to that, so we're gonna get out of here. Now we're gonna go into GMOs. Alright? Now, GMOs, that's why I wanted to read about the animals, because they genetically modifying animals, and they modifying animals and fruits and vegetables. So anything you eat, pretty much. It says a genetically modified organism is an organism whose genetic material has been altered using genetic engineering techniques. The exact definition of a genetically modified organism and what constitutes genetic engineering varies, with the most common being an organism altered in a way that does not occur naturally by mating and or natural recombination. And that's the way the Lord set it up, man, by the animals mating. You see? Now here you got the people at these farms. You got the people at these farms that have farm raised this and farm raised that, and then here comes Monsanto, and they think that they can build a bull, they can create a bull better than the Lord can, or they can create whatever. You see? All right. It says creating a genetically modified organism is a multi-step process. Genetic engineers must isolate the gene they wish to insert into the host organism and combine it with other genetic elements. You see, just like how they make these salmon so big, they put an eel gene in the salmon, splicing genes and all that. That's what I'm saying. The Lord didn't tell us to do all that, man. He said everything was going to be of its kind, right? All right, let's see. There was something else I wanted to get out of here. Yeah. Animals are generally much harder to transform, and the vast majority are still at the research stage. Mammals are the best model organisms for humans, making one genetically engineered to resemble serious human diseases important to the discovery and development for treatments. Human proteins expressed in mammals are more likely to be similar to the natural counterparts than those expressed in plants and plants or other microorganisms. It says livestock are modified with the intention of improving economically important traits such as growth rate, quality of meat, milk composition, disease resistance, and survival. Genetically modified fish are used for research as pets and as a food source. Genetic engineering has been proposed as a way to control mosquitoes, a vector for many deadly diseases. So all these different things they're trying to genetically modify. Why are they trying to genetically modify these things, man? Why do you need to genetically modify a mosquito or a bee or a fish? You see? But the thing is, just like I was saying earlier, when it came to Similac instead of breastfeeding, it's gonna be a difference in the way you grow up. You see? So eating fast food versus fruits and vegetables, you see the difference, and you grow up. In about 30 years, your body starts to break down. You see, with these GMOs, who knows? That's what I'm saying. I got 2 sons, man, 15 and 11. You see? They grew up on GMOs, man. So who knows when their body gonna break down? By the time they 20 or 25, hopefully we'll be gone way before that. But I'm just saying, 10 more years of GMOs, man, they mess around and grow tails and start sprouting fur and all kind of BS, man. You see? Can't nobody say nothing about that? Nah, man, you tell them, nah, this man is the devil. This man is the damn devil. Let's get Mark 16 real quick. Yeah, man. The Lord told us that we were going to be in this position, man. The Lord told us we was going to be in this position. We just read about it in Ezekiel. And Ezekiel said this was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Mark 16 and 18. Alright, let me see. I'm going to read up. This is the Lord sending the disciples out. You know what I'm saying? Mark 16 and 15, it says, and he said unto them, go ye into all the world and preach the gospel unto every creature. And that's what we're doing. It says, he that believeth and is baptized shall be saved, but he that believeth not shall be damned. Right? It says, and the signs shall follow them that believe. In my name shall they cast out devils. They shall speak with new tongues. They shall take up serpents. And if they drink any deadly thing, it shall not hurt them. They shall lay hands on the sick and they shall recover. And you see in that too, man. Because shit, we ain't just the pictures of health, but we're in a position now to where the Lord's giving us all these things back, like the herbs and the stones and the oils. You see, and we slowly bringing ourselves back. You know what I'm saying? The Lord didn't give us Oxycontin, man. The Lord gave us he gave us aspirin. You see? And Monsanto is huge in this game, man. Monsanto is so huge in the game that the owner, matter of fact, let me let you see who owned Monsanto. Yeah, let me let you see who owned Monsanto. Who created Monsanto? Okay, see, John Francis Queenie. You see? John Francis Queenie. Edomite. Alright. Says he was born in 1859, died in 1933. He was a businessman, founded Monsanto Chemical Works. That's what I'm saying. Monsanto Chemical Works, man. Chemicals don't go into food, man. That's what I'm saying. Back then it was just salt and ice, cold, preservation. You know what I'm saying? Alright, let's see. Alright, he started out with $5,000 and ended up being what you see as Monsanto today. I'm not going to waste too much time getting on him. I just want you to see that he was an Edomite. You know what I'm saying? This him right here. That's Monsanto. You know what I'm saying? That's Esau. That's Edom. You know what I'm saying? That's Cain. That's the serpent. You know what I'm saying? That's the serpent in the garden. That's Cain. That's Esau. That's Edom. You see? This is why we call the white man the devil, man. The self-proclaimed. I'm gonna say that again. The Lord didn't say he was white. The Lord said he was wicked. You see? The Lord didn't say he was white. The Lord said he was red. You see? He said he was gonna give the earth into his hands for a certain point of time, and then that time was gonna end. We are living in that time. So with that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash, Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom.